position you choose, just be comfortable. So if your back's a little bit sensitive first thing in the morning, then easy resting pose can be nice, can't it? But whatever, it's up to you. And then, good morning, Lydia. We're down on our backs, easy resting pose or just lying flat. Okay, so taking the first few moments just to settle and arrive into your practice. So just beginning to let go of any tension around the base of the neck. Unhinge your jaw. Relax your throat. And then beginning to breathe in and out through the nose. And just let your breath settle. And just let that natural rhythm of inhales and exhales become established. Okay, then if we all exhale everything out, take a nice long full inhale through the nose, fill everything up. And then exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. And then do that again, nice long full inhale. And then exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. And then just return to your natural breath. Can you begin to just slowly lengthen and deepen your breath now? And then maybe bringing some sound to it, so you might just make that gentle constriction at the back of the throat and come into an ujjayi breath. Okay, from here, if you have your knees bent, just stretching the legs away. And then we'll inhale, take the arms up above the head. Just come into a full body stretch. Reach your way through the fingertips, reach your way through the heels. Make yourself as long as you possibly can. Take an inhale there, then as we exhale, we'll bring the right knee into the chest. Squeeze it in. And then inhale, stretch everything away again. And then exhale, bring the left knee in. And then switch. So inhale, stretch everything away. Exhale, bring the right knee in. Inhale, stretch everything away. Exhale, bring the left knee in. Okay, inhale, stretch everything away. And then exhale, bring the right knee in. But just hold it there this time. Try to relax into that right hip. Maybe you could think about lengthening the outer right hip down towards the mat and then squeeze this right knee in as close as you can. Try to keep the base of the neck relaxed. Try and keep the shoulders nice and relaxed down on the mat. And then draw that knee in a little bit closer if you can. And then we'll just circle the ankle one way and then back the other way. Coming back to static, bringing the knee as close in as you can. Start to think about drawing the ribs in and grounding the low back down. And you can stay down here if you want to. You could lift the left leg, staying lying down. If you felt that you wanted to come up, you could come up, bring the head and shoulders up, just have a little look at the knee. Your choice though, do whatever you're feeling up for. Early on in the practice, remember to keep the shoulders relaxed. If you've come up, keep hold of the right knee with the right hand and then reach the left arm hand along the top of the left thigh, hovering it about an inch above the left thigh, and then see if you can reach your left fingertips a little bit further down towards the toes. The low back's pressing down, the navel is drawing in. Take another breath, and then release, come down. We're going to tuck the right toes behind the left thigh, switch with the hands, and then bring the right knee over to the left and just come into a gentle twist. Don't make it a really deep twist if your low back's a little bit stiff. We just warm up nice and gently into the low back. Try and stay heavy in the back of the right shoulder. And you might turn your gaze over the right shoulder as well. Okay, on the next inhale, coming back, stretching the right leg away, bringing the left knee in. Think about that outer left hip lengthening away and draw the left knee as close in as you can. Circle the ankle one way and then back the other way. A little bit of snap, crackle and pop maybe. And then bringing the knee as close into the chest as you can. You can leave the upper body down here if you want to, or you can lift the right leg. Maybe you bring the head and shoulders up. Just try and stay nice and soft around the base of the neck, whatever you're doing. If you've come up, keep hold of the knee with the left hand. Right arm reaches away, can't speak. Hover it back a couple of inches above the right thigh, and then reach the fingertips down towards the toes. But at the same time, you're bringing the navel and the ribs in. Just a little bit of a warm up for the core. Stay nice and soft around the base of the neck. Take another breath and then release, come down. We'll tuck the left toes behind the right thigh, switch with the hands, and then just coming into as deep a twist as feels appropriate for you this morning. Maybe try and keep that left shoulder moving down towards the mat, and maybe you turn your gaze as well. But just notice how it all feels. How does everything feel this morning? Maybe you're feeling it from last night. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll come back and then bend up the knees, set up for a bridge pose. So remember, those of us with low back issues, take the feet a little bit wider, might be nicer for your back. Make sure that the outside edges of your feet are parallel, toes are pointing forward. And then on the next inhale, we'll press into the feet, lift the hips. At the same time, take the arms up above the head, timing everything so that you reach the top of the inhale, and then as you exhale, bring everything down, synchronize the movement with the breath, and then inhale, keep going, lift, and then exhale to come down. No one's lost connection. Keep going, inhale to lift, move with the breath, exhale to lower. 2 more, inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Okay, last one, inhale to lift. This time we'll hold it at the top, exhale, inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower everything down, synchronizing the movement with the breath, and then just bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little bit of a back massage, maybe take the knees from side to side, maybe you can draw circles, do whatever feels nice. Okay, then bringing the knees into the chest again, holding them in, squeeze them in as close as you can. Release the arms down by your side. I'm going to do a similar thing to the bridge with breathing, but with the legs, straightening the legs. So on the inhale, we take the arms up above the head, we straighten the legs up towards the ceiling, reach the heels up, and then exhale, bring everything down, draw the knees into the chest. And again, keep going. Inhale, straighten, arms up, reach the heels up to the ceiling, maybe the hips lift a little bit, and then exhale, bring everything down, squeeze in, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bring everything down, squeeze in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, everything down, squeeze in. You might even want to bring the head and shoulders up as you come down, up to you. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bring everything in. Maybe the head and shoulders come up, maybe not. Inhale, straighten, arms up above the head. Exhale, bring everything in, okay? And then maybe you pick the head and shoulders up, you wrap the forearms around the shins, and then squeeze, make yourself into a tiny ball. Make sure you stay nice and soft around the base of the neck. Can you start to bring the ribs in, navel in? Feel the core wake up. Okay, take another breath and then release, come down. I'm going to take the hands behind the thighs. Some of us that have been practicing a lot with me are used to this. If you haven't, do your best. We're going to make our way to chair pose from here. So you might want to get there however you want to. Otherwise, have a go at this. We start to rock back and forward. So you can just start really gently. Do as many as you need to. You can do some massaging for the spine. And then we start to think about reaching the arms forward as we come up. We start to think about finding the feet as we come up. And then hopefully we're able to come all the way up to a chair pose. It's getting easier. Okay, and then once you've found your chair, just have a little look, make sure you can see your toes. So both knees are doing the same thing. They're pointing out over about the second and third toes. Sit bones, begin to draw them towards the backs of the knees, upper arms lift. Can you come a little bit deeper into your chair? And again, a little bit deeper. And again, a little bit deeper. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, lower ribs softening. Maybe you'll turn your gaze up as well there. Okay, from our chair pose, just take the weight into the left foot, come up onto the toes of the right. Inhale, and then as you exhale, can you step that right foot back? Take your time, go in slow motion. So we're stepping back to a crescent lunge, but instead of staying in crescent lunge, we're going to drop the right knee, and tuck the toes, and then come into a nice gentle low lunge. Outer left hip shaves back, right hip presses forward, shoulder blades down the back, ribs in, and then fingertips up towards the ceiling. So if you find your low lunge is really, really wobbly, you can always do that scissoring action with the legs. You could maybe take the left foot a little bit further to the left as well, so it's up to you. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to transfer the weight back, swing the arms back, lengthen the chest forward, half Hanumanasana. And then inhale to come back forward, a low lunge. Exhale, transfer the weight back, half Hanumanasana. Inhale, come back forward, there's my knee, it always does that. Exhale, come back, half Hanumanasana, lengthen the chest forward. And then inhale to come back forward for low lunge. Shoulders down, ribs in. Remember to shave the outer left hip back. Maybe you turn your gaze up there. Okay, inhale. As we exhale, we'll bring the fingertips down. Tuck the toes, right foot, lift the knee. And then transfer all of the weight into the left foot. Walk the hands a little bit further forward and come into a supported warrior three. So you can always use blocks here if you need to. You can have the left knee bent if you need to. But do whatever you need to. Try and be as level with the hips as you can. So have a look back and see the toes. Make sure the toes point down. Think about lifting up out of the left hip and the chest lengthens forward. Can you reach back through that right heel as well? So the more that we engage that right leg, in theory, the easier it is. Okay, taking an inhale, and then as we exhale, we'll soften into the front knee. We'll reach back with the right foot and then find our way back up to crescent. Well done. And then sink deeper into our crescent. Shave that outer left hip back, shoulders down. Maybe you turn your gaze up. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll take the weight back into the left foot. Step the right foot back forward and come straight back to chair pose. Well done. And then draw the shoulders down. Get that engagement with the backs of the legs. Sit bones draw to the backs of the knees. Okay, same thing the other side. Take the weight into the right foot and then step the left foot back. So crescent lunge other side. Adjust. Do whatever you need to when you get there. Outer right hip back, shoulders down. Inhale. And then exhale, let the knee come down to a low lunge. And tuck the toes. Hips sink forward and down. Outer right hip back, ribs in. Maybe you turn your gaze up as well. So remember, a little bit of scissoring action can help you here. Maybe you heel toe that right foot a little bit further to the right. That might be a little bit easier. Okay, inhale. As we exhale, transfer the weight back. Half Hanumanasana, wobble, wobble. Inhale, come back forward. Exhaling to come back. Inhaling to come back forward. Exhaling to come back. Okay, inhaling to come back forward, low lunge. Maybe you turn your gaze up. And then as you exhale down onto the fingertips, tucking the toes, lifting the left knee, and then taking all the weight into the right foot. Just coming into a supported warrior three. So have a look at the toes, make sure they're pointing down. Can you lift up out of the right hip? Can you lengthen the chest forward? See if you can engage any amount more into that left leg, reach back through the heels, but we're keeping the pelvis nice and level there. Okay, inhale, and then as we exhale, we soften into the right knee, stretch back with the left foot, and then wobble our way back up to crescent. Well done. Sink a little bit deeper into your crescent, shoulder blades down, ribs in, heavy in the tailbone. Maybe you gaze up. Okay, on the next inhale, step the left foot forward, and then find your chair pose again. Make sure it's a nice deep chair. Make sure the knees are doing the same thing. Upper arms lift, come a little bit deeper, gaze up, inhale, and then exhale and release. Okay, hopefully we're all nice and awake now. Okay, on the next inhale, find chair again. Check straight away. Both knees are doing the same thing. Shoulder blades are drawing down the back. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale to lift the chest. And then as we exhale, turning, but stay upright. So instead of doing the usual and hooking the elbow, if you stay upright, it makes you really use the muscles in your core. Make sure the right knee doesn't jump forward. Press a little bit harder with the left hand to help you to open the left shoulder a little bit more. Maybe you turn your gaze over it. Inhale to come back forward. Exhale, a little twist to the right. So turning from above your waist, don't let that left knee jump forward. Press a little bit harder with the right hand just to help you to draw that right shoulder back a little bit more. Inhale to come back to center, and then exhale for a forward bend. So just relaxing the head and neck. You can let your abdomen and ribs rest on the thighs. You can take your elbows. You might sway a little bit in your ragdoll pose. You might gently nod the head yes. You can shake it no. So remember, when you're doing this, just move in whatever way feels nice. So where does your body want you to move? Notice any little tight areas. You might sway quite a lot. You might not want to move at all. So it's completely up to you. Okay, from here, we'll release the arms down, release the hands down, step back. You could come straight down to the knees if you want to, or you can hold it in a plank pose just for a couple of breaths. So up to you. Let the knees come down. Otherwise, inhale. And then as we exhale, bring the knees down, tuck the elbows in and come all the way down to the front. And once you've come all the way down, untuck the toes. Inhale, press into the palms for cobra. Keep the elbows squeezing in. Can you roll the shoulders back? Remember to get that action low half of the body as well. So pubic bone presses down, sit bones lengthen to the backs of the knees. Energetically, the hands draw back as you press the chest forward. And if you wanted to make a flying cobra, you could lift the hands. Maybe you even want to take the arms behind you. So it's up to you. How warm do you feel already this morning? If you're lifting the arms behind you, can you really squeeze the shoulder blades in? Think about that energetic action, chest lengthening forward, but keep that little bit of engagement with the legs as well, pressing gently into the tops of the feet. Okay, taking another breath and then release, come down. On the next inhale, we're going to press up and come all the way to a child's pose. So just be nice and gentle when you do this. Bring the knees as wide as you comfortably can. And then send the hips back to the heels. Find your child's pose. Let the forehead rest down. Relax the shoulders. Take a nice long inhale. And a nice long exhale. And again, nice long inhale. And a nice long exhale. Okay, from here, inhaling to come back up to all fours, tucking the toes and then finding our first downward facing dog. You could always modify this if you need to. So those of us with wrist issues, you can always make this a dolphin, can't you? And I know that that's harder, sorry. So when you get into your first downward facing dog, you can move, you can pedal. Just do whatever feels nice. Think about the shoulder blades drawing up the back, softening around the base of the neck. And just see if you can come to that nice fluidity with the breath as well. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll look forward. You can step, hop, float, or walk forward. And then once you're at the front of your mat, forward bend. Inhale to come up, press down through the feet. Keep the arms coming out, around and up, gaze up, and then exhale. Hands down through heart center. Okay, inhale, find a chair pose. Make sure that both knees do the same thing. So I go on and on and on about it, don't I? It becomes second nature. So hopefully all of our chair poses are perfect. We don't want the knees to be drifting. We don't want them collapsing in. Try to get the hamstring engagement. You're not collapsing into your low back either. So the ribs are drawing in, the shoulder blades are drawing down the back. And you can turn your gaze up there as well. Maybe you'll come a little bit deeper into your chair. Okay, from here, we'll take the weight into the right foot again, and then we'll step the left foot back. Finding crescent lunge. Again, another little move that's getting a lot easier for us, I'm sure. Okay, inhale here. As we exhale, come down. We'll find our low lunge again. Untuck the toes. Let the hips sink forward and down. Can you shave the outer right hip back? Can you draw the shoulder blades down the back? Fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale. As we exhale, transfer the weight back. Half Hanumanasana. Chest lengthens forward. Inhale, come back forward. There goes my knee. Exhale, come back. Wobble, wobble. Inhale, come back forward. Exhaling to come back. Half Hanumanasana. This time we're going to hold it here for 5. Can you really lengthen the chest forward? 4. Can you draw the top of the right thigh bone back into the hip socket? 3. I know it's wobbly. 2. And 1. And then inhaling to come back into your low lunge. Shoulder blades down the back, gaze up. As we exhale down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes, left foot, lift the knee, and then take all the weight into the right foot and find that supported warrior 3 again. So we want to try to have the pelvis level here, the toes are pointing down. Lift up out of the right hip. So once you start to lift that leg higher, it's more of a standing split, isn't it? Stay with the supported warrior 3 for now. Lift up out of the right hip, reach back through that left heel. Can you lengthen the chest forward? Okay, from here, inhale, and then as we exhale, soften into the front knee, reach back with the left foot, find crescent lunge, wobble your way up for crescent, and then sink a little bit deeper into your crescent, shoulders down, ribs in. Maybe you turn your gaze up there as well. And then from crescent, take the weight into the right foot, step the left foot back forward, back into chair. Take a moment to settle back into your chair. Get the action with the sit bones joined to the backs of the knees, shoulder blades down the back, ribs in. Okay, other side, take the weight into the left foot and then we step the right foot back. Wobble, wobble, do whatever you need to, adjust when you get there. Make sure that your left knee's coming, not coming way beyond your ankle. You're not hanging into the low back, the ribs are softening in. Inhale, exhale, come all the way down to a low lunge and tuck the toes. Let the hips sink forward and down. Shave the outer left hip back. Shoulder blades down. Gaze up at the thumbs. Inhale, as you exhale, transfer the weight back. Half Hanumanasana. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, come back. Half Hanumanasana. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, come back. Okay, we'll hold half Hanumanasana, 5 breaths, chest forward, 5. Can you draw the top of the left thigh bone back into the hip socket? 4. Lift the arms behind you. 3, 2, and 1. And then left foot comes back down, arms come back up, gaze up. And then as you exhale down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes, right foot, take all the way into the left. Hands come forward, find your supported warrior 3. So check your toes are pointing down, you're not outwardly rotating that hip. Lift up out of the left hip. Can you lengthen your chest forward? It's surprisingly strong, isn't it? Supported warrior 3. It's very strengthening for the legs. Do whatever you need to. If you need to bring the floor closer to you, use your blocks or whatever you need to. Think about the chest lengthening forward. Engage back through that right heel. Okay, inhale, and then as we exhale, soften into the front knee, reach back. We'll bring the arms up. Come back to our crescent lunge. Shoulders down, ribs in. Come a little bit deeper into your crescent. Gaze up if you can, and then on the next inhale, we'll take the weight back into the left foot. Step the right foot back forward and find chair. Shoulders down, ribs in, come deeper into your chair. In fact, release the arms down, squat down, fingertips to the mat, and then come back into your chair that way. So you're in a nice deep chair, because I always say that, don't I? And then I look at the videos and I'm cheating. So make sure you're not doing what I do. Take another breath in chair and then release. Okay, shake the legs out. Take any little move that you need to. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders, move the arms around. Do whatever. Okay, then inhale, take the arms up. Keep the arms about, hands about shoulder width apart, palms face towards each other. Shoulder blades are drawing down the back. Can you knit the lower ribs in, heavy with the tailbone? Make sure you're not arching into the low back. So ribs are softly drawing in, tailbone is heavy, shoulder blades down the back, but then the fingertips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Imagine that you're holding a block now between your hands and you start to squeeze the block. Feel how you start to squeeze the tricep muscles in when you do that. Take an inhale, keep squeezing the imaginary block, and then as we exhale, pressing a bit harder into the left foot, we'll come over to the right for a little side bend, but keep squeezing the block. The arms are staying engaged. Left hip might kick out a little bit to the left-hand side, but try not to lean forward and back. Keep squeezing the block. Just come as deeply into that as is appropriate for you. We'll stay here for about 3 breaths. Keep squeezing the block. Maybe you turn your gaze towards the ceiling. Can you maintain that nice evenness with the breath? And then inhaling to come back to center, to reset, draw the shoulder blade down, squeeze your imaginary block, inhale, and then exhale, little side bend over to the left, a bit heavier in the right foot there. Right hip's going to kick out slightly, but you're not leaning forward and back. Maybe you can turn your gaze up. Still draw the shoulders away from the ears though. It's actually harder than you think, this little side bend, isn't it? Especially when we hold it for a few breaths. Turning your gaze up to the ceiling, if that's okay with the neck, up to you. Keep breathing and smiling. Okay, inhaling to come back up. As we exhale, release the arms down. Okay, inhale to come back to chair pose. So straight away, check that the knees are doing the same thing. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. all of that, things that I go on and on and on about in chair. Inhale. As we exhale, swing the arms back, abdomen and ribs to the thighs, and then inhale, come back up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, come down. This time we'll hold it in ski jump pose. So nice deep bend in the knees, reach back through the arms, lengthen the chest forward. Still get that action of the sit bones drawing towards the backs of the knees. Can you come a little bit deeper into your ski jump? I don't know if that's what this called, diver's pose maybe, I'm not sure. Chest forward, keep lifting the arms if you can. Okay, if you are reasonably comfortable here with your arms, we're going to rotate so that the palms face down and then squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. From there, can you gently move the little fingers towards each other in like a bit of a pulsing action? Try and keep the sit bones drawn to the backs of the knees, pulse there with the arms. You're going to start to feel your triceps quite quickly. And you can make it as big a movement as, or as small a movement as you need to. Keep lengthening the chest forward. And then inhale, come back to chair, pose for a rest. Check the knees are doing the same thing. Shoulders down, gaze up. And then exhale and release, well done. Okay, inhale, straight back to chair. Come deeply into your chair. Check that the knees are doing the same thing, upper arms lift. Okay, taking the weight into the right foot, and then we'll step the left foot back to find our crescent lunge again. So adjust it when you get there. Move in whatever way you need to. Can you shave that outer right hip back? Can you draw the shoulders down, ribs in? Maybe you gaze up there as well. Come deeper. So all of those little details that we talked about in our crescent lunge, remember, back knee can be soft, tailbone is heavy, energize back through the left heel. Okay, inhaling in crescent. As we exhale, we're going to come all the way to the back of the mat for warrior two. So rotate all the way around. Left foot faces the back of the mat. Check the line up with your feet, line up heel to arch, shoulders down, shoulder blades press in, and then you gaze softly over your left middle finger, having a rest in warrior two. Remember to be heavy in the tailbone here. Your inner right thigh is lifting and the front knee's opening out. Those little checks as well, you haven't started to lean forward. So that's the classic thing that we do in warrior two, isn't it? We lean forward. Okay, from our warrior two, inhale, reach forward with the left arm and find length, and then we'll bring the elbow to the knee, and the right arm comes up and over. Turn your chest in your side angle pose. If you wanted to come straight to a deeper version, you can, remember. It's completely up to you, but maybe you'll turn your chest. Okay, looking down to your left foot, inhale to press into it to come back to warrior two, and then sink a little bit deeper into your warrior two. On the next inhale, we'll straighten into the left leg, turn to our right, turn all the toes in, bring the hands to the waist, and then inhale to find length. Exhale, come forward, maintaining the length. So hands could come down the legs, you can stop wherever you need to, or bring the hands down below the shoulders. Up to you, your choice. Inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward. Exhaling to fold. And again, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold. And again, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold, and then coming deeper into this if you are comfortable to do that. But whatever works for you. You can always use blocks here as well, remember. Try to think about the inner thighs spinning back. Notice how that makes space for you to move into. Relax the head and neck, draw the shoulder blades up the back. Can you bring the weight a little bit more to the balls of your feet here? If you could see yourself in a mirror, you ideally want to be in a position where your hips are over your ankles here. So just have a little think about that, because there's a tendency to hang back, isn't there? So as much as you can, hips over the ankles. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll lift the head. As we exhale, bring the hands to the waist, and then inhale, Uddiyana Bandha brings you all the way up. And then exhale. Okay, we're going to find our crescent lunge again at the top of the mat. So rotating with the feet. Come back to your wobble wobble, come back to your crescent lunge. Sink deeply into it, take an inhale in your crescent lunge, and then as you exhale, slowly let the left knee come down. But come down into your low lunge, untuck the toes. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper into your low lunge. Inhale, and then exhale, come back, half Hanumanasana. Chest lengthens forward. Inhale, come back forward. There goes my knee again. Exhale, come back. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, come back, hold it. 5, chest lengthens forward. 4, top of the right thigh bone, draw it back to the hip socket. 3, wobble, wobble. 2, and 1, and then inhale, taking the weight back into the right foot, finding your low lunge, gazing up, and then exhale down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes left foot. We're going to take all the weight into the right foot, come back into our supported warrior 3. Make sure that the toes are pointing down, outer left hip points down. Okay, use your blocks here, whatever you need to bring the floor a little bit closer towards you. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward, and then as you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose as much as you can, squeeze. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose and squeeze. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose and squeeze. And then inhale, stretch it back. This time we're going to bend the left knee and then open it out to the left. So you're really opening the hips now, aiming to work towards here, stacking the left hip over the right. So it's quite a deep twist for the lower half of the body. Can you lift that left knee any amount more? So we've done this before, haven't we? And it's a little bit like a dog lifting its leg, that kind of position with the left thigh. Okay, and then releasing back to your supported warrior 3, lengthen the chest forward. Inhale, and then as we exhale, softening into the front knee, reaching it back with the left foot, wobbling our way back up to crescent, and then sinking deeper into our crescent, shoulders down, ribs in, gazing up if you can. On the next inhale, we'll take the weight into the right foot, step the left foot back forward to our chair. Legs are burning, I'm sure. Keep that action, sit bones to the backs of the knees, and then take the weight into the left foot and step the right foot back. So we usually get confused when I'm doing this, and we haven't yet, I don't think. We're still doing the right thing, aren't we? So find your crescent, soften the back knee, be heavy in the tailbone, ribs in, shoulder blades down the back. Maybe you turn your gaze up. Try to feel the whole of your body in your crescent lunge. So notice if you shrink a little bit on the left-hand side, can you find length at the sides of the waist, sides of the ribs? Okay, inhale. As we exhale, we're going to find warrior 2 all the way to the back of the mat. So right foot faces the back of the mat, opening out, shoulders down, shoulder blades press in. Inner left thigh lifts in warrior 2, remember, and the front knee still opening out. And you haven't started to do that thing of leaning forward, so check all of the details. Heavy in the tailbone. Okay, inhaling to reach forward with the right arm and find length, and then bring the elbow to the knee and the left arm over for side angle. Your version, make it a deeper version if you want to, but just make sure that the chest isn't pointing down. Tailbone is pointing to the back of the left heel. Right side ribs press forward, left side ribs draw back. Turn your gaze up and try not to collapse into your right elbow like I'm doing at the moment. Try and be as light in that left arm as you can. Okay, looking down to your right foot, inhale to press in and come to warrior 2, and then sink a bit deeper, warrior 2. On the next inhale, straightening into the front leg, we'll turn the right foot in, all of our toes are turning in. Bring the hands to the waist, inhale to find length, and then exhale, come forward, forward bend. So your version, again, hands can come down the legs. Maybe you take them to the floor below the shoulders. Maybe you want to take the first 2 fingers around the big toes this time. It's up to you, your choice. Inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold, and then coming deeper into whatever degree works for you. But just see if you can get the weight more in the balls of the feet. Can you lift the kneecaps? Can you spin the inner thighs back? Make more space and then move into it. Remember to relax the head and neck here. Trying not to use your back to curve, remember. Okay, from here, we'll bring the right hand down in front of the face, or a block if you need to use a block. And then inhale, take the left arm up. So just coming into a little twist there. Press that right hand into the mat or the floor so that you're not sinking into the wrist, you're lifting up out of it. Reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and then as we exhale, switch. So a left hand down, right arm up. coming into a twist, widen across the collarbones. Try not to let the pelvis sort of go squiff there. Try and keep the pelvis level, for want of a better word. Press the left hand down so that you're lifting up out of the wrist, up out of the shoulder. But you haven't sort of let the hips kick out. The pelvis and the low back is neutral. Inhale, and then as we exhale, unwind. Inhale to lift the head. As we exhale, bring the hands to the waist. And then inhale, Uddiyana Bandha brings us all the way up. And then exhale, well done. Okay, finding our crescent lunge again, top of the mat. So the left foot turns forward. Find your crescent lunge. My favourite, as we know. Very, very strengthening for us. Crescent lunge, ribs in, heavy in the tailbone. Outer left hip shaves back. Remember, soften the back knee as much as you need to. Shoulder blades down. Okay, on the next inhale, we'll take the weight back into the left foot, step the right foot forward, come back to chair pose. Okay, how are our legs? Are we still talking to me? Are we still coping with the legs? From here, we're going to rock up to the balls of the feet. So this is another one we have done quite a few times recently. If you haven't been practicing for a while, you might curse me for this. If you've got knee issues, don't skip it. If it doesn't feel good in your knees, don't do it. Okay, make sure both knees are doing the same thing. We're on the balls of the feet. Inhale, exhale, come down to the squat. And then inhale, come all the way back up, staying on the balls of the feet. Inhale, exhale, come down to the squat. Keep the upper arms lifted if you can. And then inhale, come back up, balls of the feet. Wobble, wobble. Inhale, exhale, come down to the squat. And then inhale, come back up, wobbly chair. Lift the upper arms. And then let the heels come back down. Find a standard chair, gaze up, inhale. And then exhale and release. Well done. Okay, shake the legs out. Move your arms, your shoulders, shake your wrists out. Do whatever you need to. Make sure that the feet are hip width, outside edges of the feet are parallel. And then take the arms up. Hands about shoulder width, palms face towards each other, shoulders down, ribs in, tailbone is heavy. Engage the legs here as well, the kneecaps are drawing up the front of the thighs. Okay, imaginary block between the hands, squeeze the block together. Inhale, exhale, little side bend over to the right, press heavier into the left foot, keep squeezing the block. Left hip's going to kick out a little bit, maybe you turn your gaze up as well. Keep breathing. And smiling, keep squeezing that block as well. Just about another 2 breaths there. Maybe you'll come a bit deeper, maybe you won't. And then inhaling to come back up. Exhale, little side bend over to the left. Okay, keep squeezing that block. That right hip is kicking out. Turning your gaze up if that feels appropriate for you. Make sure you're not leaning forward or back. Okay, inhaling to come back up, and then exhale, release the arms down, roll the shoulders, move the arms around in any way that you want to, and then inhale, come back to chair. Draw the sit bones towards the backs of the knees, upper arms lift. So it's quite challenging, isn't it, when we're not vinyasing, to use the legs a lot. So you might curse me later, but do your best. Check that the knees are doing the same thing. Can you take the weight into the left foot, come up onto the toes of the right. Inhale, exhale, step the right foot back. So I've done it the other way around this time, you must remember. Step the right foot back, come into your crescent lunge, heavy in the tailbone, shoulder blades down, ribs in, gazing up towards your thumbs. Okay, inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two, all the way at the back of the mat. So adjust, make sure that the feet are doing the same thing. Open the front knee out, inner left thigh lifts, shoulder blades press in. You gaze softly over the right middle finger. Make sure you're not leaning forward, so you want to be as upright as you can be with the torso. Reach into that outer left heel as well. Okay, inhale, reach forward with the right arm and find length. And then your version of side angle. So if you want to come deeper, come deeper. You can even take the bind if you wanted to here, it's up to you. Left side ribs draw back, right side ribs press forward. Tailbone to the back of the left heel. So I did actually threaten, didn't I, the other week that we would do Bird of Paradise. Maybe not this morning, but we'll work towards it. And this is a great pose to help us with that. If you come into the bind, if you release the right arm down, tuck it under, left hand comes behind you, you come into the bind. And that's a really nice prep for the Bird of Paradise. So you can work on that. Inner left thigh lifts, front knee opens out, turning your gaze up. Okay, if you've gone for the bind, we'll release it. Come back to your side angle, whatever the supported version, and then look down to the right foot, inhale, press in, come back to warrior two, and then sink a bit deeper into warrior two. Inhale, straighten into the right leg, turn all of our toes to the side, bring the hands to the waist, inhale to find length. Exhale to come forward, maintain the length. Hands come down the legs, you take the toes or hands down below the shoulders, up to you. Inhale to lift and lengthen the chest forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold. And again, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold, and then coming deeper into it, inner thighs spin back, lift your kneecaps, weight to the balls of the feet, relax around the base of the neck completely. And you might want to nod your head gently yes, you might shake it no. Let's do whatever feels nice. Have you maintained all of that length on the front of your torso though, whatever it is you're doing? Okay, and from here, inhale to lift the head. As we exhale, bring the hands to the waist, and then inhale, Uddiyana Bandha brings us all the way up, and then exhale. Find your present lunge again, facing the top of the mat. Sink into the front knee, shave that outer left hip back, heavy in the tailbone. Okay, inhale, exhale, dip down, come down to your low lunge, and tuck the toes. Inhale there, exhale, transfer the weight back. Half Hanumanasana. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, transfer the weight back. Half Hanumanasana. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, transfer the weight back. Hold it. 5. Chest lengthens forward. 4. Lift the arms as much as you can. 3, 2, and 1. And then inhale back to low lunge, arms up. Exhale down onto the fingertips. Tuck the toes, right foot. Take all the weight into the left foot, and then find your supported warrior 3. Look back, see the toes. Can you lengthen the chest forward? Use blocks there if you need to. Reach back through that right heel so you're as level in the pelvis as you can be. And then inhale. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose as close as you can. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose as close as you can. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, knee to nose as close as you can. Inhale, stretch it back. And then this time we'll bend the knee, open the right hip to the left. Right even. I always get this wrong. Okay, lift that knee as high as you can, aiming to stack that right hip above the left eventually. Okay, it's a little bit like a dog lifting a leg, isn't it? Can you lift that right knee as high as you can? Okay, from there, squaring the hips back forward, coming back into that supported warrior 3. Inhale, and then exhale, softening into the front knees to find your crescent lunge again. And then sink deeper into your crescent lunge. Shoulders down, ribs in, gaze up. Okay, inhale, and then exhale, stepping it back to your Utkatasana, front of the mat. Make sure that both knees do the same thing. Upper arms lift. Come deeper if you can. Draw the sit bones to the backs of the knees. Okay, rocking up onto the balls of the feet. We'll do a couple of those squats. So inhale, exhale, dip down. Squat. Inhale, come back up. Snap, crackle, and pop. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, come back up. Wobble, wobble. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, come back up, and then let the heels come down, come back into your standard chair pose. Okay, so this is now where I get totally confused. Okay, no, take the weight into the left foot, come up, right foot, come up onto the toes of the left. Inhale, exhale, step it back, crescent lunge. Adjust it when you get there. Draw that outer right hip back, heavy in the tailbone. Back knee can be bent, remember. Shoulder blades down the back. Maybe you gaze up there as well. Inhale, exhale, warrior 2, all the way at the back of the mat. So turning all the way around. Check your line up. Front knee opens out, inner right thigh lifts, shoulder blades in. Collarbones widen, gaze softly over your left middle finger. Nice and even with the breath. Okay, from here we'll find side angle. So inhale, to knee and the arm over. I've just frozen there. I hope my internet's not going wrong. I hope you can, we're all still here. Okay, if you want to come to the bind here, you can come to the bind. You release the left arm on the inside, tuck it under. Maybe you take the bind, draw the right shoulder back. So that's a nice way to work towards the bird of paradise, isn't it? Keep drawing that right shoulder back, turn, left sit bone, tailbone even points to the back of the right heel. Okay, if you've taken the bind release, come back to a supported side angle or whatever, turn your chest. And then looking down to the left knee, inhale, press into it, come up to warrior two and then sink deeper. Inhale, straightening into the front leg, turning the left toes in, setting up for a wide leg forward bend, bring the hands to the waist, inhale, find length. Exhale, come forward, maintain the length. You do whatever you prefer with the hands, take whatever version of this you want to. And then inhale to lengthen the chest forward, exhale to fold, and again inhale, lift and lengthen, exhaling to fold, and again inhale to lift and lengthen, and then exhale to fold, coming deeper into whatever version you've chosen. Maybe the hands walk beneath you, elbows start to move in towards each other, inner thighs spin back. Relax around the base of the neck wherever you are. Make sure that you're not beginning to bring any tension there. We tend to, don't we? Okay, from here we'll do the twist that we did on the other side. So right hand down in front of your face. Inhale, take the left arm up. Keep the pelvis level. So don't let the hips kick to the side when you do that. Keep the back nice and level. The left arm might not come all the way up, but don't worry about it. Press the right hand into the mat and reach up through the left fingertips. Rather keep the pelvis level than worry about how high the left arm comes. Inhale, exhale to switch. Left hand down, right arm up. Reach up through the right fingertips. Try not to let the hips go off a piece to doing their own thing. Reach up through the right fingertips. Left hand is pressing down. Inhale and then exhale to release. Inhaling to lift the head. Exhale, bring the hands back to the waist, and then inhale, Uddiyana Bandha brings you all the way up. And exhale. Okay, finding crescent lunge again, top of the mat. You're cursing me for this one. So it's so strong for the hip flexors as well, isn't it? Especially if you're doing it right and you've got the tailbone nice and heavy, you really feel it strongly front of the left thigh, don't you? Okay, arms up, outer right hip shaves back, tailbone is heavy, shoulder blades down the back, maybe you gaze up. And then on the next inhale, we'll take the weight into the right foot and we'll step the left foot forward, find a chair pose, make it a nice deep chair, lift the upper arms, come deeper if you can, gaze up, inhale and then exhale and release. Okay, how are our legs? I hope we're all right. Hope we're all still talking to me. Wow, look at the time. It's a good job I checked, get carried away. Okay. So from here, we're going to heel toe the feet a little bit wider. We're going to come down into a yogi squat. And I know some of us struggle with this more than others. Some people find this really easy. But you can always use a block for this while you're working on it as well. You can support your heels with a block. You can sit on a block. You can roll up the end of the mat to help you. So do whatever makes this more accessible for you at the moment. A lot of it is to do with just the shape of your hip joint. So don't force it. Slowly, you come to the deepest version of this you can. So eventually we keep the toes pointing forward and the feet not too far apart. But if you need to come really wide and turn the toes out. It's up to you. Okay, inhale, and then as we exhale, we start to bend into the knees, let them point over the toes. Again, you could stop if you needed to. You could sit on your block there or something, or you come all the way down into an Vinyasa-less squat, which is so good for our lower back and our hips. But it might be taking us a little bit of time to be able to find this pose. So just, whatever. Remember, those of us that find it easy, don't hang out here. It's quite easy, isn't it? When you find this easy, it's easy to just hang here. Don't. Lift up. Think about coming up about an inch. Imagine that you're drawing the heels towards each other so you find that buoyancy in the hips, and then lift the chest. Elbows to the insides of the knees. Press the palms together, lift the chest even more. See if you can find a little bit more buoyancy in the hips. And then it's not quite as easy as it. And then maybe you'll come up a little bit higher again, perhaps another centimetre. Can you start to squeeze the outer hips in? Find a little bit more length up through the crown of the head. Okay, those of us that are comfortable here could lift the arms and then inhale, press into the feet to come all the way up. And once you're all the way up, inhale again, exhale, come all the way back down. Make sure that the knees track out over the toes. Don't just hang out in the squat, as tempting as it is. Find that buoyancy in the hips, draw the heels towards each other, shoulders down, fingertips to the ceiling. Get a little bit more buoyancy if you can. And then inhale, ride the elevator all the way back up. Cursing me, shoulders down, fingertips up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, come back down. Make sure that the knees track out over the toes when you do that. And then squeeze the outer hips in, shoulders down, fingertips up. Find the buoyancy. Okay, you can release the hands down here. You can take a break, you can stay with that. You can come into the twist if you want to. So you can release the left hand down, reach the right arm up. Stay there, or rotate the left shoulder forward, wrap it. You can come into the bind there if you want to, draw the right shoulder back. Still finding the buoyancy in the hips though, if you're going for that. Inhale and then exhale, unwind, back to center. Right hand reaches down, left arm up for the twist. Maybe you rotate the right shoulder forward and you find the bind. Again, some people can do that easily straight away, others of us not. Hey, draw the left shoulder back, keep that buoyancy in the hips. Okay, and then inhale, exhale to release. Hands together. Take the hands down, and then from there, straightening into the legs, heel toeing the feet in, and then just come into a ragdoll pose. Relax your abdomen, your ribs to your thighs. Take your elbows, sway. You can nod your head yes, shake it no. Just do whatever feels nice there with your head, with your upper body. And then from there, we'll release the arms down, and then inhale, come straight back up for chair. You can still feel your thighs. Shoulders down, gaze up, and then exhale and release. Okay, I'm just going to do one little more round of that crescent lunge type thing, but we're not going to do all of it, and I'll show you why. Okay, so come back into your chair. Get the sit bones drawing to the backs of the knees. And it might not be as deep a chair as it was, because your legs might be hurting. Okay, we'll take the weight into the left foot, and we'll step the right foot back, find crescent. Wobble, wobble. Adjust it. Heavy in the tailbone, remember. Okay, inhaling crescent, and then exhale to slowly lower. So come down to that low lunge, untuck the toes, hips sink forward and down. Inhale, exhale, send the weight back, half Vinyasa-less. Just doing that once this time. Inhale, come back forward, take the weight into the left foot, reach the arms up. Exhale, down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes, right foot, lift the knee, take all the weight into the left foot and find your supported warrior three. Okay, so we're going to put all of that together, what we've been doing. Our hips should be nice and warm. So from your supported warrior three, start to think about that stacking of the hips like we did when we're lifting the right knee out to the side, and can maybe adjust the position of your left hand. And we're going to see if we can come to our half moon from here. So reach the right arm up, reach back through the right heel. See if you can open your chest to the right. So the left foot is facing forward. Reach back through that right heel. Right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Well done. Can you engage the right side core, ribs, to get lighter into your left hand? Okay, and then from here, we'll come back to supported warrior three. So hands come down, level out the hips again, look back, see the toes. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward, exhale, soften into the front knee, reach back with the right foot, and then wobble your way back up to crescent. Well done. So I find it harder coming to half moon from supported warrior three. I don't know about you. Okay, inhale, and then exhale, step the right foot back forward to your chair. Well done. Okay, from there, take the weight into the right foot, inhale, exhale, left foot steps back. Just adjust it. I'm very wobbly this morning. Don't know about anyone else. Heavy in the tailbone, ribs in. Inhale, crescent, exhale, dip down. Untuck the toes. Let the hips sink forward and down. Inhale, exhale, half Vinyasa-less. And then inhale, come back forward. There goes my knee again. Gaze up, exhale, down onto the fingertips, tuck the toes, lift the left knee, take the weight into the right foot, find your supported warrior three, outer left hip drops down, chest lengthens forward, and then we're starting to think about finding revolved, or half moon rather. So the left arm reaches up. Can you stack the left hip over the right, or aim towards that? Engage the left leg. Can you engage the left side ribs to get lighter in that lower hand? So it's quite a good way to come into it, because it makes sure that that right foot is definitely facing forward, and it wants to be. And it can sort of go a little bit off piste when we come into it other ways, especially in a flowing practice. Okay, from there, inhale, exhale, release the left hand back down, leveling into the hips again, toes are pointing down. Inhale to lengthen the chest forward, and then exhale, softening into the front knee, left foot comes back. Wobble your way back up for present. Well done. How to left hip back, heavy in the tailbone, shoulders down, gaze up. Okay, taking the weight into the right foot, inhale, exhale, left foot steps forward, find chair. And then before you really curse me, we're going to come all the way down. Use the hands, cheat if you need to. Come all the way down from your chair. And then meet me in half boat, but just briefly. Lift the chest, lift the shins, reach forward with the arms. A little bit of softness in the hands, collarbones widen. Inhale and then exhale, bend the knees, bring the shins towards you, wrap the forearms around the shins and bring the nose between the knees for a cosmic egg. And just begin to let everything settle back down in your cosmic egg. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Can you feel the low back just decompressing here? In fact, the whole of the spine. And let your breath settle. Well done. It's quite intense, that, isn't it? Should have said I was trying to do a wrist-free practice, and it's often much harder. Okay, from there we're going to let the feet come down, and then just adjust yourself so that you can come all the way down. You might want to hold around the shins or behind the thighs, and then just ease your way all the way down. And then bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little bit of a back massage. Side to side, to whatever feels nice there. Okay, from here we'll find a happy baby pose. So your version, you can take the hands behind the knees or arms on the inside. Take the ankles, the shins, or the outer edges of the feet. So whichever works for you. And then you might move a little bit around there. You can sway a bit. Sometimes it's nice to be static, isn't it, in these poses, and other times it's nice to move. So do whatever. And then we'll keep hold of the right foot, stretch the left leg away. If that's too much for you, rebend the left knee. But then draw the right knee as close to the underarm as you can. Taking another breath and then come back to the full version and then release the right leg. So again, the right knee can be bent. If you find this really intense, you can bend the right knee. I think we'll be thinking about me later with our thighs, won't we? Okay. Take another breath and then come back to the full version. Moving in any way that you want to. And then from here, we'll bring the soles of the feet together and just let the feet come down to the mat. So you come down into a Supta Baddha Konasana, just briefly. You could let one hand rest on your heart center, one on your abdomen. And just observe your breath here for a moment as it begins to settle down. And then you're very welcome to stay like this if you want to, but you might want to give your hips a bit of a break. You can make your way to Savasana. If you needed to take any other little move in between, you can. But make your way to Savasana. Or stay in a Supta Baddha Konasana if you prefer. And then start to relax. So remember to bring the shoulder blades in. Release your jaw. Relax your throat. And relax deeply into your abdomen as well. back of your tongue. All of those common places that you tend to hold and grip. Relax. And then just let go. Completely. Just for a few minutes. And now slowly beginning to bring your awareness back. Gently moving fingers and toes. Taking a nice long inhale, having a stretch. So arms up overhead, maybe interlace fingers, have a full body stretch. You could bend up the knees, bring them into the chest, give yourself a hug, take a twist. So anything, any move, any stretch that feels nice. And then just making your way to your right hand side when you're ready, but take your time. And then easing your way back up to seated. Still talking to me. Okay, we'll bring the hands together. Just take a moment, relax the shoulders. Soften your facial muscles. And just observing how your body feels. Take a nice, long, full, expansive inhale through the nose. And a cleansing breath out through the mouth. Namaste. Thank you, folks. Vinyasa-less vinyasa is actually quite hard, isn't it? So I hope we enjoyed that, folks. It's a challenge, a vinyasa-less vinyasa. Okay, don't forget I'm doing a yin extra tonight, and it's 90 minutes. Hopefully you want to join me. If you don't, if you can't, I'll put the recording up anyway.
What time is that?
I think I'm going to, pardon?
What time is that?
I think 6. Is that okay with people?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll do another one.
Okay, 6. And anyone that wants to come for that, it's yeah. So I'll see you later.
Right.
See you later.
Thank you. Thanks, Claire.
Bye. You're still talking to me. Bye. Bye-bye.